to how I talk to myself? Do I really listen to how I... And the other thing I was going to say is, listen, God is in the kitchen too. Huh. I know we thinking the kitchen is always hot. So when we think kitchen, we think it's hot as hell. You can't stand the heat, get out the damn kitchen. But let me tell you something, nigga. God is in the kitchen too, brother. That's all I'm saying. So did you hear about Harvey Weinstein?
Yes.
What's going on with him? What do you think about that?
Well, I haven't really paid enough attention to really give my thoughts on it. At least not in a fair way. However, like many things, it sparks it reminds me of false rape accusations and how society has a tendency to go on these witch hunts on men even without the facts straight.
Without the facts straight.
Yep.
Did you hear the audio? Because I don't know the facts either, but did you at least hear the audio?
No.
Okay. So, how do you feel about him grabbing titties?
If it's consensual, then fine. If not, then it's wrong.
Okay. So he shouldn't be able to grab somebody's titties.
Not unless it's consensual.
Not unless it's consensual. So if you listen to the audio, you'll find that it's not consensual. She's reminding him. So what happened was, it's the audio where the police were involved maybe a year or so ago. Maybe, I don't know how long ago it was. But they did a sting operation, I guess it's called, where he basically did his due with this lady, and she reported it immediately. And because they had backed up cases, the police actually listened to her, and they had her go back another day, the next day, but with, audio on, like recording. And they're actually playing that right now. That brother's going down. That brother's going down. You can't be just grabbing titties. Like, he is not Donald Trump. Like, that, you can't. See, you know how much different the world would be if you could just go around and grab titties?
Wow.
That world would change. There'll probably be less perverts. There'll probably be less rape cases if you were just able to grab titties. And they weren't able to say nothing like, hey, I like that. That's a nice blouse. Let me see.
That's weird.
So then you see all the major, Angelina Jolie, right? You see Ashley Judd, right? Then you got the other lady. What was he doing? He asked for the kiss. He wanted to kiss her. She didn't want to kiss him. So he said, all right, well, you don't have to kiss me, but you're going to watch this. And he just masturbates right there in front of her for her to watch and makes her watch. And all I'm saying is, it's just funny that Jay-Z is stuck in the middle of all this.
Jay-Z?
Jay-Z! The dude from Brooklyn, rapper from Brooklyn. Rock Nation, Tidal, Beyonce. You ever heard of Beyonce? Blue Ivy.
I know.
They just had the twins. Remember
he
was with Dame Dash? Talking about some Jay-Z. Jay-Z? Well, yeah, Jay-Z.
Okay, well, what's the Weinstein thing got to do with Jay-Z?
It's got everything to do with it. Jay-Z's stuck in the middle of this. He's got R. Kelly doing his whole cult thing. Remember him and R. Kelly had their deal? Remember the best of both worlds? I think they did 1 or 2 albums together.
So
Remember
yeah.
R. Kelly peed on the girl? Remember R. Kelly's building and forget personal development training. R. Kelly's got women training girls to how he wants to have sex with them.
Yeah.
It's a whole shrine. So you got R. Kelly on this side, and then you got Harvey Weinstein. You know the Kalief Browder story, right?
The who?
The Kalief Browder story. The kid that was locked up. He was about 16, 18 years old, maybe 16 years old. He had to go to Rikers Island, and he served 3 years in prison, but he was never convicted. You never heard about that?
Well, the name escapes me. Fairly certain I did.
You've never heard about Kalief Browder.
I said I'm fairly certain I have.
Have you heard of Kalief Browder?
I'm not even answer that.
Yes or no? Have you ever heard of Kalief Browder? You heard of him? Have you heard the name? Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you heard?
Are you done?
No, I'm not done.
Are you done?
No, I'm not done because you just said on some silly shit like, what's Jay-Z got to do with this? I'm trying to tell your ass, and you not trying to look, you either know or you don't know, and you let me educate you, nigga. Got me talking like Pinky around here. I'm about to go put on my pink suit, nigga. Have you ever heard of Kalief Browder story?
No, I don't think so.
Kalief Browder's story. It's on Netflix. You've heard of it, but you're still discombobulated. Like, what does Jay-Z got to do with this? I'm trying to tell you. Kalief Browder, the executive producer on that docuseries that everybody's been talking about over the past, year or two. Might I add, Jay-Z also has the rights to the Trayvon Martin story, which is going to be absolutely amazing. But you probably never heard of no Trayvon Martin. You probably never heard of Eric Garner. You probably never heard of Philando Castile. You probably never heard of Sandra Bland. You don't know about any of those people. But let me get back to what's Jay-Z got to do with it. Sounding like damn Tina Turner. Well, what's love got to do with it? I sound like Professor Clump right there. Sherman. Listen, so Jay-Z has everything to do with this. You got R. Kelly on one side with his female scandal, and then you got Harvey Weinstein, which is one of the executive producers along Jay-Z on the Kalief Browder story. Jay-Z's his head's gotta be spinning. You know Beyonce got the handcuffs on him now. That's all I'm saying. The streets is not only watching, but they talking now.